Good morning to all our listeners. Good morning, King Gray.
We missed you.
Feels good to be back in the studio.
Yes, it's good to have you in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need to take some time off to rest.
True.
I mean, right now I'm back. I mean, it feels good to be back in the studio. Let me say a very fantastic Happy New Year to all our listeners from around the world. I mean, this year is going to be way more better than last year. That's the usual expectation.
Yeah.
We're entering the new year with a lot of hopes, a lot of beliefs, a lot of expectations, and I know that I can feel it. It's going to be a better year. So, welcome again to the Real Estate Matters on Super FM 92.7 Lagos. I'm still your host, the Real Estate Doctor. Don't forget that you can be part of the show by calling us on 08050920927. I'll take that one more time, 08050920927. That's the number to call. You can also follow us on our socials. The Real Estate Matters is a show where we bring to you conversations around real estate from all over the world. We try as much as possible to focus on our host country, Nigeria. But, there's been a series of events in the real estate sector since
you've been away.
Since I've been away. Good thing I called into the show last week.
Yes, because I know no matter where you are in the world, you can always tune in, call in, and share your insights about what's happening. What's been happening in the real estate space? Last year, I know we went over the amount of on the last show of last year, we went over the amount of tragedies that happened last year. As much as we've had good things happen in real estate with some of the new policies that are being put in place, tenant protection, property protection, insurance, we also had some very bad news. Yes. And the very odd thing, I know we had a caller last week that said that every Ember period, there's a lot of fires, right? A lot. And then that day, or was it the next day, there was another fire, right? Yeah. And even afterwards, there was another fire.
I think we had about 4 or 5 fire incidents.
Yeah, I think about 3 of them, then there was the BRT, just very tragic, very unfortunate.
Again, that's just a reminder to tell us that as a nation, we need to move away from the old ways of doing things. Mm-hmm. It's not only Nigeria that fire incidents happen.
However, fire happens everywhere. I mean, there are some places that fire happens naturally, natural fires, right? But the issue now is what happens afterwards. I mean, it's not just Nigeria that car accidents happen, right? It's not just Nigeria that fire accidents happen. It's not just Nigeria that crime and burglary. It happens everywhere. But the problem and the issue now is what happens afterwards? What are the protection? What's the protection that's been put in place to pick up for when there's a crisis, when there's an emergency?
Yes.
What happens then?
Yes.
How can Nigerians be assured that if something happens, there is going to be fire service to put out the fire?
Yes.
There's going to be emergency services to come to your aid. There's going to be healthcare services to come to your aid within minutes, 5 minutes or less, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a water hydrant close to your house to put out the fires,
So let me also say this quickly. Today on the show, we're looking at something very important, and that's the new tax law and real estate. Mm-hmm. There have been too many, stories about the new tax law. This year, if I open my Instagram, all you're seeing
everybody's
is people,
talking about
everybody has become a social commentator regarding this issue. So, but I'd like us to go on this very quick break. When we come back, we'll dive straight into that conversation. Thank you.
2.7 Super FM. Real Estate Matters with the Real Estate Doctor and his co-host, King Ray, on Super FM 92.7 Lagos. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. This show brings you an understanding of the business of real estate. Follow us on our socials at real_estate doctor and at ray.realtor. For sponsorship and advertisement, call us on +234 802 735 1727. Powered by Media House Promotions and O.Dot Communications. Real Estate Matters, only on Super FM 92.7, where real estate matters.
welcome back to the show. And we've been talking, I think it's kind of like a continuation of last week, but it's also something different where we're talking about the new tax laws, real estate, some of the crises that have been happening around us, and some of the benefits of the new tax laws for us. Because a lot of people have been asking, I mean, tax laws, pay your taxes, all of that. What are the benefits for Nigerians? What are the benefits for us? Because some of us feel like we're being double taxed. We are providing our own security, we're providing our own water, we're providing our own electricity. Sometimes you're even the one tying the road to your house. And it's like, okay, so what am I paying this extra money? Why is it being enforced on me if at the end of the day when I'm doing my bookkeeping for my business, I'll put money for diesel, I'll put money for all of these things, and I'll still put, those are services that should come from the public, from the government, right? So now let's talk about the benefits. What are you going to get within the real estate space from being, we should all be good civilians and pay our taxes. It's give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, right?
Yeah. So let me read out something very quickly.
Okay.
So recently, Nigeria passed a comprehensive reform called the Nigerian Tax Act 2025, part of the set of tax laws which came into effect January 1, 2026. These laws modernize and restructure how individuals and businesses are taxed, replacing the outdated provisions and harmonizing fiscal rules across the sector. So, for those of us in the real estate sector, there's a sort of hope, because one of the things that this new tax law is doing is also taking a lot of burden from real estate investors and builders and renters. So, the real estate tax law, there are some key changes to it. So one of the biggest changes for real estate is that value-added tax will no longer apply to real estate transactions. That's one of the burdens that this new tax law is taking off real estate investors and renters. So value-added tax will no longer apply to real estate investors on transactions, such as sale of land. Before now, if you buy a land, they can ask you to pay value-added tax of 7.5%.
Yeah.
In addition to the money if the land is 3 million, they can tell you then after your 3 million, you pay VAT of 7.5% of the 3 million naira, which is additional expenses. So this law has come to abolish all those things. So it's no longer, in place. Also, the sale of residential or commercial buildings and rental payments. This aims to lower transaction costs and improve housing affordability by removing the 7.5% VAT burden that often made property deals more expensive. So that's a very good news to all of us in the real estate sector, that we will no longer pay. Away from all the stories we're seeing on Instagram, everybody has become social commentators. Everybody has become, analysts about this new tax law. Some have even said that for every transaction you must put narration, and I'm wondering, how does this narration solve any problem?
I think it's
I can imagine that. So everybody now, any transaction that they're doing now, people are putting gifts as narration.
I did see that skit. I saw that skit.
Gift. You are buying a land, you're putting gifts. You are paying for food at the restaurant, you're putting gifts. How is that even supposed to change any narrative? That's not the focal point.
Narration is for audits.
It's for and that's why the government is saying it's not by putting narration. It's not by putting narration to all your transactions. That's when you're going to be taxable. It's about understanding what the law has come to do and understanding your role as a citizen.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? So another thing that the new tax law has come to do for us as real estate practitioners is rent relief for tenants.
Yeah.
So for tenants, especially low and middle income earners, tenants now qualify for a tax reduction known as rent relief. You can deduct up to 20% of your annual rent from taxable income. So the deduction is capped at 500,000 naira per year. So for example, if your rent is 1.5 million, you can deduct 300,000 naira, which is 20% from the income taxes.
Yeah.
If your rent is 3 million, 3 million, the minimum allowed deduction is 500,000. So that rent relief is also a good news for many of us renting properties everywhere. So there's going to be a rent relief for as high as 20% from your annual rent for taxable income. So that's another very good one. So I mean, I understand that the biggest worry a lot of Nigerians have is not to pay this tax. Their biggest worry is when we pay this tax, what are these monies used for? In a country where you buy land, in a country where when you buy that land, you are going to be the one to build the road that leads to that house. I have a property somewhere in Ogun State. There was no road, no accessibility. I had to be the one to do the road to my house. There was no there was no power. There was no source of, cable or whatever in place. I had to be the one to look for my power from anywhere I got it from. There was no water. I was in Kenya just a few months ago. Nobody digs any borehole.
Mm-hmm. And just access to those things that you should get. Sometimes it feels like if I'm going to be spending so much to get these things that are meant to be, and even just security, right?
Yes. So that's the reason why people are not eager, are not keen about paying this tax.
Because it makes a lot of people feel like that. That's the reason why a lot of Nigerians have lost trust in the system. Because it then feels like we're being double taxed.
Double taxed. I agree. So we hope that as this new law takes effect. We hope that our government can put this money to a good use so that Nigerians can start to see the benefits of paying this tax. That's when this country is going to work. That's about tax. Another thing I want us to, again, don't forget that you can be part of the show by calling us on 080-5092-0927. That's the number to call. You can also call us on 080-250-27711. That's the number to call. Another thing I want us to quickly also talk about, just a few minutes ago, I saw on the news that the burial dates for 3 brothers who lost their life in the GNI fire incident have been set. That's a very tragic one. The GNI building, had the fire incident 24th of December 2025. The fire incident, or the smoke, or the incident, prolonged for like few days, 7, 8 days, to the point that even last week somebody was still rescued from the rubble. So very, very sad. 3 brothers lost their life in that fire incident. We have one, Mr. Stephen Oyeka Omatu, and the brother also, Mr. Kasmil Omatu, and also Collins Omatu. Very sad one. That as many of us are celebrating, with joy that we're entering a new year, some families are mourning, and I think that this incident could have been avoided. One of the issues that we have as a country is when issues happen, we don't evaluate it properly to know what led to that fire, so that we can know how to prevent such thing from happening again. So we understand that it was a market, and something triggered electrically, and that building started to burn. But again, we must put our hearts to this family. It's a very sad one. We send our condolences, and we hope that such incidents will not happen anymore. But very unfortunately, we had another fire incident in Arena, at an Arena market, that happened almost a few days after. And we saw a certain building online also, where some set of people were doing firecrackers, and I think in an hotel somewhere in Lagos, and the hotel also caught fire. Very sad one. Even though we saw, I was away when I saw that this popular TikToker, this social content creator, Gege, built a house, and I don't know if some evildoers, or maybe it was the one that did it, came up with news that the house got burnt a few days after he launched it. And I'm like, is this supposed to be real? But we saw eventually that he came back to refute that claim that the house didn't get burnt, that it was just the content. So, but I mean for me, I think that's a very expensive content, if you ask me. So very sad. So I think we must at this point call on our relevant government agencies to be very proactive. Yesterday, I was coming from Ibadan yesterday. I saw a burning BRT on 3rd Mainland Bridge. That BRT it caused a lot of traffic. It kept on burning for a few hours. There was no sight of any fire ambulance for hours. There was no, so it was just the last month people trying to coordinate traffic. So my question is, how many fire safety equipment or ambulance do we even have in this country? Because I don't think we have enough. So at this point, the government, a state like Lagos State, the government should be looking at having the fire safety machines or ambulance or firefighters stationed in areas where the population is much. In places like Lagos Island, there's nothing stopping us from having the fire safety machines, the trucks,
exactly.
like 20 or 30 of them located in different parts of Lagos Island, knowing that place is a busy place.
It's not even just the trucks.
Yes.
Water hydrants, those
Yes.
hydrants along roads.
Yes.
That way, even civilians can at least connect. Because that whole bucket thing that you see sometimes they're doing with ladders and civilians carrying bucket.
Yeah.
If we had hydrants in as many places as possible, it's just about connecting the pipe to it. If we had water, access to water because a lot of times with water, individuals have to set up their own water system.
Yeah.
If that was even accessible,
yes,
we will start from somewhere.
We will. Yeah, I agree.
So yes, the trucks. Yes, we need those trucks. We need more of those trucks. Yeah. But what you see in other parts of the world is just that system. Just it being on every street is one step closer.
Yes, I know. If you go to some estate around Lekki, some estates have their fire truck. If you go to estate like Parkview, the first thing you see once you drive into
is a fire truck.
Is a fire truck. That means they are ready.
They are ready for it.
Because they know that these things happen.
Some estates have people come together and put money together and provide those services. And then you now ask someone who is paying estate dues. The estate dues, you are paying estate dues for electricity. You are paying estate dues when you are paying for security.
Yeah.
You are paying all of these extra charges to keep your home safe. Yes. Right, to have your own and sometimes people gather money to get gates and tar their roads, and then after I finish paying for all of these things, I now have to come and say, oh, you still pay, aside from all of these things, you still pay extra money for taxes. It makes people feel like, okay, so what am I working for?
Yeah.
If all of my because when you see some businesses when they are going through their cost of running, electricity is such a high, in fact, it's probably collecting more than 50% of how much they are making.
I think we have a call. Let's do this. Yes, morning, please.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Taiwo calling from Shomolu.
Hello, Taiwo from Shomolu. How do you want to join today's conversation?
So, the new tax law, right? My question is about...
Please adjust the volume of your radio set. It's affecting your voice.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
It's better.
So I want to talk about the new tax law, right?
Yeah.
So I'm about to pay my rent at the end of this month. So let's say I'm paying something like 1 million naira, right?
Yeah.
And we know how the economy is. And are they going to also collect money from the money I'm going to pay for rent, even though they are collecting tax from my salary again? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I explained. I didn't get your question. I didn't get your
question. Can you explain better? Yeah.
You are collecting
your radio set. The volume is still affecting your call.
You can turn it down totally. Yeah.
Yes, turn it down. Turn it off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so the government is collecting tax from my salary.
Yes.
Right? And which is allowed. So I want to pay rent. Are you still going to collect tax from my rent, even though the money I'm paying for rent are all my gatherings from my salary?
No, based on this new law, they're not, taxing you based on the rent you want to pay. If you look at the exemption that was given the VAT. That aside from the fact that you're not paying VAT, there is also it's not so clear. Just listen to us, Taiwo. So I don't think that if you've paid your tax, I don't think that they're going to tax the rent you want to pay to your landlord. And that's some of the reliefs that this new tax law is coming to give us as a people. So I don't think that, but I know that. I think one time on this show we need to bring in a tax expert.
Yes.
To come and tell us what benefits this new tax law is going to be for Nigerians. Renting a property or buying a property. But based on the information I read out earlier, I do not think that they should tax the rent you want to pay. Yes, I know that if you're paying rent, and that's why this law is saying that there's no. Before now, they will tell you they will demand your rent and demand VAT.
Yes.
So now they are not had. So the law is saying that the VAT is exempted from rent. So you're no longer supposed to pay VAT
But
with
I
the rent
think
you want
both
to
of
pay.
them are still taxable under the personal income tax.
No, but well, based on this new tax law, based on, I don't think so. But hold on, let's take this call. Yeah, morning, please. So I think we lost
Okay,
that.
we lost that call.
So please, you can call us again. So 1 minute, somebody else is calling.
But I think that's where the whole claiming
Yeah,
of
morning,
rent
please.
rent
good morning.
relief.
This is Sitaiwo from
Okay,
Shimoni.
hello.
All right, go
Taiwo.
ahead,
And
Taiwo.
also, yeah, I was able to. I understand what you're trying to say now. I
Yeah.
get it right.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say that I've been sending messages over 3 weeks now
Okay.
for my voucher.
Were you one of our lucky winners?
I
Yes,
think he was.
I
I think he
got
was. I
40,
think he was.
3
actually.
times. King Gray,
Yes.
she told me to message that I messaged the number. I've not gotten my voucher.
You okay?
Like
you
3
will.
vouchers now.
You will get it.
Okay,
You will
please.
get
You can
it.
you can call that number after the show.
Yes.
We'll address.
Put your
it.
name.
Okay.
Put your name and the location that you called from.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
morning,
Taiwo.
please.
Hello. Good morning. Okay, we lost
All right,
that
sweet.
call too.
All right, so for me, I think there should going forward, because I don't think we want to lose more lives. When I saw the story of these 3 brothers who died in the GNI fire incident,
Yeah.
it was a very sad one to me this morning. I mean, that's an entire that's almost like a three generation, you know. And I think what the government should do, as a matter of fact, the government needs to make it a law. Any multi-tenanted building,
Yes.
before any sort of approval or any is given, the government should send their team to see if this developer has conformed with all the fire safety rules.
And then
If there's need for that estate, I don't think even 1004 has an estate as a fire truck. And these are estates that somebody can leave their house and leave the gas opened.
the fire truck is not for the estate people to have. It's for the government and the local.
No, if the government is not having, then let's as a people too, we
why,
must.
So
Wait, okay, let me tell you.
So what you're saying now is that the government should ensure that civilians.
Let me tell you.
Should have trucks in
you
their
are running
estates.
an estate that has 1,000 units, and you want to totally wait for the government to come and provide everything for you. Do you know the cost of a flat in 1,004? If you
So
want to
just
buy?
now when you were
So
saying that
facility managers, the owners, the developers of those estates should also have some level of
responsibility,
equipment in
fine,
place
fantastic, home
before the
ownership and
government,
all that.
yes, before the
I
government
agree.
comes to come and salvage
However,
whatever
you
happens.
were the one that also just advised our last caller that when he pays his rent, from that rent, a portion of it is going to tax. So the owner of the property will pay the tax. And since the owner of the property and the owner of the estate is paying taxes for the rent that he's collecting, and then they should also have some fire trucks provided to them.
No, see,
because
let me tell you.
I don't understand how.
Let me tell you. Imagine that.
I'm just saying.
Wait, let me tell you. Imagine that the GNI building had a fire truck.
I mean, it's life saved.
So would they have waited for the government to be doing their fire brigade approach and to be doing their last minute? Lives will have been saved.
I agree. Lives
so
would have been
that building
saved.
is a 25-story building.
But these are also
it's
people.
25-story
The
building
lives that were
burned down
saved.
to the ground.
Lives that were saved are Nigerian
Let's take this
citizens
call.
whose lives should be protected by the government and should be valued by the government. That is the reason why the government, typically, public service invests in all these life protecting. Facilities. Let's
assume that some systems in the government has collapsed, and me as a person.
So I don't even know why we're having that assumption. We want to move forward. We're in a new year.
If I die today, God forbid,
we're in a new year.
Life will move on now.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I would do what in my capacity to keep myself safe. I'm not saying that everybody should buy a fire truck, but for estates, multi-tenanted estates with multiple units.
I mean, estates are already doing that.
So for me, I think
especially the very expensive ones. It costs a lot of money.
I don't know if they have it in Banana Island.
It costs a lot.
But I think I've only seen that truck.
It costs, and I think
Can
BGC
it be more?
has.
Can it be more expensive? Let me ask you. Can it be more expensive than the totality of all the houses in that estate?
So you're asking all of us now to that gathering money to be.
If that's the way forward, if that's the way to to save lives, let's do it. And let me also
what
tell
are we
you
a
that
part
we
of
also
the
had
system
value.
for?
That we also had value to that extent.
What are we a part of a system for? Because being a part of a system means that there's a public service that you are expecting.
Yes, but from what we have seen played out in the past few years or few months, as that.
So now, when I now pay my estate dues,
anyway.
it will be considered as personal expense, Abi.
No, when you pay,
can it be
for
tax
homeowners,
deducted?
so what I think
Since I'm going to be paying for the
what I
water
think should-
and I'm
what I
going to
think
be
should
paying
happen-
for electricity, am I going to when I'm doing my
Homeowners,
expense
yeah.
for personal expenses?
Yeah.
Can it be tax deducted? I say, okay, I paid half my salary to buy fire truck for my estate. That means that
as an homeowner,
because it should not be counted. It should not be considered.
It's not the job of the tenant to buy a fire truck. It's the job of the homeowners to contribute into a single post to buy it, just in case anything happens. At least you can immediately attend to it before the government comes. Because now, let me tell you.
It sounds
what
like
we don't
this
want to
trip
do as
that
the
you
people.
went for, you engaged
What we don't
some
want to do.
officials. And you are no longer on the side of us.
Well, no, I know.
I'm just saying. Because you have said now that our lives is up to us. We should take care of ourselves.
But at the end of the day,
and then you also now came. In fact, you're not even opened up today's show and said yes, we must also pay taxes.
Let me say this. No,
I'm not saying we shouldn't pay taxes. Yes, I agree. What I'm saying is that we should challenge our local government.
We should.
Right?
Why not?
We should challenge the system because honestly, I feel like maybe I mean at this point maybe more Nigerians will be more involved in what's happening with their monies. Because if at the end of the day because most people, I think most Nigerians don't seem to understand how much of their money is going into services that should be coming to them from the government.
Let's
right?
take this call. Yeah, morning please.
Yeah, hello my friend.
Morning.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Onyebuchi.
Hello, Onyebuchi.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you, Onyebuchi. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you.
Where are you calling from, Onyebuchi?
I'm calling from Ajegunle, Papa.
Okay, hello.
Yeah, I will talk on the two topics you brought in.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please, when you talk about the fire stuff, I think there should be some level of sensitization.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I feel.
Sensitization for civilians or for
no, for civilians, because I got to realize that since the advent of this usage of gas, there has been multiple fire explosions. Like I can literally count
gas.
In my area.
Yes, we are all responsible for that.
It's fatally.
True.
The fatality is just too much.
True.
It happens every now and then. So people need to be sensitized on how to use this thing.
And how to be responsible.
Yes, last week, 2-3 houses got burned. One, somebody died in it, and it's so sad.
This didn't even make the news.
Yes, it doesn't make the news. Many of these things doesn't make the news at all. And secondly, something happened last week. I took my little niece to get her maybe a New Year stuff.
Yes.
At the Apapa ShopRite mall. You couldn't believe. I went there. That ShopRite is closed. Do you know how many staff that has lost their
jobs?
Yes, because when I asked what's the reason why, they said that they couldn't meet up with the tax policy of this government.
No, I think most of the ShopRite stores are closing down. If you go to the ShopRite at the Ikeja Mall, it's almost empty. There's nothing to buy.
You can imagine.
It's
so sad. And
in fact, it's very deserted. There's nobody there. Thank you, Ebuchi. Thank you.
I want to confirm something, if it's still valid.
Yes, please.
I was listed among those that got the voucher for the last batch last year.
Yes.
I don't know if it's valid.
You called in last week, right?
Yes, he did call.
Yeah, I called in last week as well.
Okay, please text me on that number after the show, please.
I will do that. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I think Ebuchi has made some very valid points.
Yes, we are all. I agree with his points, and it's not just about us people being reckless with fire, things that can cause fire like gas. I think even last episode we had mentioned how some people will have a generator running and they'll be pouring fuel into the generator, or they get to a filling station and you leave your car on and you are refilling your tank. So yes, we have to all be responsible.
Morning, please.
Well.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Tony, calling from Okota.
Hello, Tony from Okota.
I
don't want to join the conversation.
Yeah, I want to say something about the fire incident.
apart from holding the government, they need to do something about most of the touts. If you see the video circulating online, before the fire service could get to the point of the building, they had so many blockages, like those selling along the road. They call it a party or something. Those people shading market along the major road that leads to that Nigerian building or whatever.
They blocked.
I don't know. Yeah, there was this blockage.
Yeah, because Lagos Island is always congested normally.
Yes,
even to walk is the problem.
Yes.
Even to walk.
Yeah.
But to walk is even the problem. Talk less of a big dog going to that place. And there was a time we saw this minister. I don't know if it is Minister Ojo that had this confrontation with this fire service guy. That he was like, he checked the van, there was no water inside, and he was like, if you have an emergency now, how will you do it? I don't know if you saw that video circulating when he was tackling them, like you're moving with this truck and there's no water.
There's no
water
in it.
Yes, and when the truck got to that place, they said there was no water in it.
So why did the truck get there now if there was no water? So why did you go there? What are they hoping to happen? What are they hoping to happen?
That's our Nigerian factor.
How will you take an empty truck to the location?
I don't know what you plan to go and do there.
I was even surprised when I heard the news. No water. I saw the video of them trying to clear the road. These touts that collect money from them, they pay daily. All those people that shade along the road, they pay daily.
It's not free. Yes.
It's not free.
They pay ox permit and all that. Even the one that ox around that don't have a space.
Even if you carry it on your head, you still pay. They are laborers helping people to carry load from one place to they pay. So they need to do something about it. Apart from, you understand?
Yes.
I saw the video before the truck could get there. It took like hours.
Yes,
when
I understand.
No water.
And thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tony. See, so we are also a part of the problem.
Yes, we
are.
And
sometimes illiteracy, because more greed than illiteracy.
You know, in Nigeria, when issues happen or when incidents happen, the first responders are always people that want to take videos.
True.
They are not there to save any lives.
True.
They are just there to be doing videos right now.
Unfortunately.
So this is happening. This just happened. Are you supposed to be doing that or be saving the life of the person
helping.
Who just... And that thing played out during the time of Anthony Joshua's accident too.
Yes.
Where
there are a lot of people.
AJ, somebody who just had an accident.
Instead of
trying to help, they were just doing videos,
and I
doing
saw
selfies.
A video of someone on social media where he was talking about, I think we have a call.
Morning, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ajasco from Ejede, Ikorodu.
Okay. Hello, Ajasco from Ejede.
Yeah, good morning. Yes. So, I just want to talk or ask on the new law reform about the rentage.
Yes.
Okay.
That our man over there talk about maybe if you want to pay for rent, there will be a reward for it at the end of the year or whatever.
Yes.
And you talk about that there's no need of putting description. This one is going for rent, this one is going for food, this one is going for fuel. So to the indication. So how are they going to know that this money that I'm paying is for the renting?
Yeah, so
what that
the government
shows that narration is actually necessary.
So let me tell you. So because there's a rent,
you put for rent, you put it in there. That is rent.
So usually, even before this new tax law, usually it is always very good when you put narrations to your transactions.
Yes.
It's not because of any tax. It's because of
for record purpose
for audits.
Yes.
And also if you want to,
thank you very much, Ajasco.
Just listen to us.
Yes.
So
that's a valid
because
point
there's a
so narration is necessary.
It's very important, yes.
So you can indicate rent,
but not like the general narration where people are saying that
obviously,
you must put gifts.
Obviously, those
they don't want to avoid tax.
They don't understand how it works.
Gifts is not taxable. So when you put gifts, you avoid paying tax.
Those are comedians.
So you buy a car, you put gifts. You buy a house, you put gifts.
They don't understand how it works. And then the truth is, by the time you are doing false narrations like that, it kind of damages what you're trying to do at the end of the year. So even when you should be getting rent, the returns, rent relief at the end of the day, I think that's about 20% of your annual rent. When you should be getting that back, because you've put gifts, you won't get that back. So yes, that's a very valid point. So
let me now tell you. So because there's a rent relief, or sort of a deduction given to people paying rent. People paying rent. What you will now see is people will now be putting rent on all their narrations. So that's why the government is saying that.
That's why
they're saying that you must show documentary. You must show documentation. Exactly. That's why they are saying that you must show.
All of us, we know ourselves here.
And now because there's a deduction, you put in rent on all your narrations too. And that's why the government is saying you will show track records of all the rent you paid and documents to back up that it is actually a rent you are paying.
Like so you don't know how Nigerians work.
So another very important thing I also want us to I want us to also talk about is the place of insurance in all this. Insurance is still a very big problem.
That's another conversation we need to have an insurance expert in this studio as well.
Billions of money was lost to the GNI fire incident. Billions of money. And that's why the government is saying that you must start from insuring your property. You must start insuring your property.
Yes.
And even the goods in the property. So I can imagine that building is an insurance building. It belongs to, I don't know, it belongs to General Insurance, Nigeria Insurance. Yes. So I expect that building is insured.
Yes, but what about the individual?
So if that building was insured, good thing, whoever owns that building is covered. But how about all the occupants in it?
Exactly.
Their goods, their goods and other things that got burnt. Were they insured?
Were they insured? That is why tenants should also, because I know that we say, okay, yes, property owners should insure. I think tenants should also insure their property.
Yes, tenants should also, and there's nothing you cannot insure. You can even insure your life.
Yes.
Is that good? Insurance has gone to a different level. You can even do life insurance on yourself.
Yes.
Talk less of your goods and your commodities in that building. So, and that brings us to place to say that Nigerians don't fancy insurance.
We don't understand.
We don't understand insurance.
We don't understand.
We just feel that we're dashing money to insurance companies because you have insured you've done it once or 2 years. There was no incident. You feel that why do I keep dashing money to this insurance company when nothing happened? No,
we do not.
It does not mean
we need to be educated on insurance.
This morning I was booking a flight to the UK this morning because I wasn't certain of that. I'm not certain of that trip yet. It's scheduled for March. I had to insure that ticket. So I can guarantee my refund of that ticket in case I don't go on that set date. That's how insurance works.
Yeah.
But if you don't insure that ticket, if you book that flight and there's no show, you don't show up on that day, it's not refundable. It's not refundable. That ticket is gone. That's the way it works. So we cannot overemphasize the place of insurance in all this.
And a lot of Nigerians see insurance as a luxury.
As a luxury,
especially from certain socioeconomic class group, right? They feel, oh, why am I paying insurance? But insurance is something that we should all, commit to. And a lot of times, it's not as expensive. In fact, it is not expensive. It's not as expensive as people think it will be, or that people think it is. Sometimes it's less than 1%. It's 0.0 something percent of the actual value of the asset.
Yes,
and then there's also the issue of falsifying asset value, right?
Yeah.
Whereby the gadget costs 500k, you now because you don't want to pay, maybe you don't want to pay 1% or whatever it is
enough premium
for insurance, you now reduce the value. And then
when
an incident now does happen,
and you now want to get the value of
cannot get the actual value of what you paid, of what the asset is.
Yes.
So insurance is a necessity.
It is.
It's something that a lot of Nigerians need to understand. All right, because people we've had. See, as we've said several times, we have trust issues in Nigeria. You cannot blame us for having trust issues because the system doesn't work often. Sometimes you might commit to an insurance company, and then they don't. When something does happen, they come up with clauses and causes as to why you will not get your money back.
Because for me, insanity is when you have a property worth 100 million, 200 million,
and
50 million, and you do not insure it. I don't know how is your investment secured? How are you protecting your investment? If there's a fire incident and something happens, that property is gone.
Yes.
And so how do you want to get your money? So people will buy cars of how many millions, no insurance. And the only insurance people do, that's because it's mandatory.
Yes.
It's third party. If third party was not mandatory, people would not even do it too. So that's our government really has a lot to do in trying to make people understand why these things are important.
Yes.
So all the people that their properties got burnt in that GNI building, if they had insurance, that means they have zero problem. Insurance company will replace them.
Yes.
But in a place where you have a business and you have goods worth over $1 billion in a shop, and none of them is insured. people insure anything. You can insure bag of rice, you can insure bag of beans, you can insure anything, insure stocks. Because if anything happens, insurance companies will come back, and compensate you. But in a place where people try to, run away from paying premium because they feel it's like I'm just dashing these people money, nothing is happening to my goods, and I keep giving them money annually. There's when stuff like this happen, you will know the importance. A friend of mine got a cab just few months after he had an accident on Third Mainland Bridge. His driver ran into 10 cars.
Thanks.
10 cars. His driver bashed somebody from the back. The person at his front bashed the person at the front. It was now like a multiple accident. I was like, God, how do you want to get out of this? But the insurance company took it because it was a comprehensive insurance.
Yes.
They took care of everybody. So that's the place of insurance. But when we don't do it, in advanced countries, let me tell you what some of my friends do. When they have a car and the car is old and they're tired of the car, they just ram into somewhere and say, insurance company will replace it for them.
I don't even think you have to have an accident when your car is.
No.
From where
it depends on the policies. It depends on the clauses in that.
You can actually change it from wear and tear.
No, sometimes it is. Sometimes some insurance, the agreement, the policies only cover when there's a physical accident. That's when. So and the another thing that is also very key is in the advanced countries. A friend of mine was driving me. I was driving around the UK one time. His car broke down. Because of the failure of some of the systems in our country, that's why people don't subscribe to insurance.
Yeah.
His car broke down.
Insurance is now provided.
There and there, he called the insurance company.
Yeah.
There, if something happens to your car, you don't call your mechanic. It's your insurance company you call.
And they are the ones that now engage
they sent a car.
auto repair.
They send a makeshift car to us right there to take us away from there. My friend was in custody of that car for over 6 months till he got the replacement of it. Till he got his car sorted out.
Yes.
That's the beauty of insurance over there. But in this country, I'm telling you,
meant to be the
when it
convenience
happens and your car breaks down, you have an accident. That's when you start to hear all levels of grammar from insurance companies. So the response time to emergency is not swift. My car has broken. I have an accident. So how do you want me to move around as an insurance company? They should provide a makeshift car for you to take you around. Pending when they give you a replacement, but story starts.
Yes, but I think there's a customer protection agency in Nigeria.
Yeah, it does
if your
FCCPC.
Yes. Whereby if your insurance or the
or any service provider,
if they do not maintain the standard that they have agreed with you to deliver on, you can report them to that agency.
Yes.
And I know I believe the agency works. They have their email, they have contact details.
Yes.
I hope it works anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, we've I don't know if we still have more time. I think we still have 15 minutes. So again, insurance is very key. Let us embrace the attitude, or embrace that insurance culture. Let's insure all our assets. I've said it. You can even insure your life. Some people, when they die, they have insured their life. When they die, their families get checked.
Some companies enforce life insurance.
If you belong to associations, they've brought up life insurance policies for their members. When that person dies as a member of that association, the family gets an amount of money running into millions. So I mean, that's something to at least to give to your family in case of somebody who did not have money. So all these are something that a lot of us needs to consider. So we don't wait for accident to happen. Accident happen anytime. Happens anytime. Nobody. The one that happened to AJ.
It's not any.
AJ Anthony Joshua was just, according to the news, it was just 10 minutes before that accident. He moved from the owner's corner to the left hand side of the car.
And he recently announced that he's retiring from boxing.
I don't know if that announcement.
I think that is
that announcement. I think
that was false information, right? Wow.
Yeah, I think his uncle said something about it, but it's not confirmed yet.
Confirmed
yet. And we started seeing AI videos of it. No, it was an AI video that I'm retiring from boxing. Blah, blah. These days, anything on the internet that you see, even if it's a video, it might be AI.
Sometimes some of these issues when they do happen, and Nigerians, let's say Nigerians, we're having a fun day with it. But the issue now is that how then can we now discern between real news and false news? Yeah,
but it's by verifying it now. You do your verifications. So not everything
because
we see.
We have some news. We haven't even gone over our news headlines.
Yeah, let's do that briefly.
For today. Okay, so let's just go over some of the news that have happened today. I think we've already covered the fire incidents that hit FCT, Lagos, and 4 others.
Was there one in FCT?
Yes, there was one in Abuja. In Abuja, a fire broke out at Cake Hut restaurant in River Plate Park, Wuse. shortly after midnight on New Year's Day. Property valued at approximately 1.5 billion was saved, while losses were estimated to about 500 million naira. A statement released on Thursday by the Federal Fire Service spokesperson, Mr. Paul Abraham, said in Lagos, firefighters responded to several incidents, preventing further escalations. Some of the fires were caused by some of the firecrackers. Yes, firecrackers.
It's called Banga now.
Yes,
I don't know who still blows that thing, man.
People do. See, New Year's Day, the whole atmosphere, you couldn't breathe.
And people throw it in closed door environments.
Yes, some of them do not know how to manage it.
Insane,
then there was also the BRT bus that caught fire on 3rd Mainland Bridge. I think we also covered that. Governor Sanwo-Olu orders controlled demolition of GNI building after the Lagos fire.
It has to be demolished. Yes, not just that building, even neighboring adjoining properties.
Adjoining properties has ordered the controlled demolition of the Great Nigerian Insurance building. The Ogun State government is to construct housing units for workers. So the Ogun State government has disclosed plans to construct housing units for workers across the state on 5,000 plots of land as part of its efforts to improve workers' welfare.
That's a good one if it happens.
It is. It is.
So we don't just want to see the announcement. We want to see the physical building, the structure, the construction starts.
Yes.
Yeah, not just to put it on the news. Yes.
So court also orders the sealing of Lekki waterfront property. I think a lot of us have heard about that.
Yeah, there were so many
boats, Musa of Abuja High Court has ordered the sealing of disputed waterfront property located around the Lekki Peninsula area, pending the determination of civil suits arising from a commercial land transaction and private. So there's been that. There's also the news about the average Ikoyi 3-bedroom rent that hits about 25 million per year. I know that one has been going up.
No, that's the rental value in Ikoyi now. 3-bedroom, 25 million.
It's even going higher. It's even going higher because
in Lekki Phase 1 now, I have a 3-bedroom, 35 million. Lekki Phase 1, so
it's not to talk of Ikoyi axis.
Yeah.
Okay. Governor Sanwo-Olu gives.
Those are luxury areas now.
It's not for you.
It's not for the babies.
It's not for. Governor Sanwo-Olu gives 100 million naira apartments to support Nigerian Legion ahead of Remembrance Day. The Lagos State government has approved a comprehensive support package for military veterans in the states, comprising of 100 million naira in financial assistance, residential housing units, and operational vehicles as part of activities commemorating the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Nigeria.
That's a good one.
Yeah. The intervention includes the provision of 4 2-bedroom housing units and 2 utility vehicles to the Lagos State Council of the Nigerian Legion. I think that is actually a very
that's a good one.
Very good.
That's a good. I mean, it will encourage the legions.
Yes. Another news: Lagos State Task Force has arrested about 32 street urchins. So a lot of those young. I mean, some of them started very young, but they've grown now.
Yeah.
About 32 suspected. I wouldn't say suspected. A lot of these children were born on the streets, and unfortunately, some of them have grown from being children to becoming quite intimidating young adults. They are no longer begging. Some of them are now actually intimidating civilians.
They are causing a lot of nuisance. I saw a video this morning of a certain guy that his car broke down the road. And he broke down one of the bridges, the Cool Bridge and Dereba.
Yes.
And some guys walked up to him and they were so he was trying to do.
He's no longer begging.
They started harassing the guy to pay them. They call it Owo Motaku. That your car broke down, you must pay. That your car broke down. My car broke down. Me that I'm already angered that my car broke down. I should come and pay that my car broke down. Oh Lord. So they were actually arrested anyway. Police arrested them. That why are you harassing this man? Somebody that needs help. You want him to pay that his car. Was it his handiwork that his car broke down here? And it happens on even Third Mainland. If your car breaks down on Third Mainland Bridge, these guys will come out from nowhere.
Especially
and come and start to extort you here. If you don't pay them, they may even rob you.
If you park too long anywhere, you will still see someone.
What's Lagos turning into, man? What's Lagos? What's going on?
There needs to be something done about that. I mean, but we don't really have free home services for people who are do not have housing. You know, and some of them are just sleeping on the street. So when they wake up, they just come to your.
No, there are homeless people everywhere, even abroad. Yes, but the government should provide something for them. Yes.
Yes, some sort of housing.
Yeah, there are homeless people everywhere.
Can be provided for them. African Realtors set to gather in Ghana in 2026. The major edition of the African Real Estate Festival, AREF, is set to hold in Accra, Ghana. The Pan-African Festival themed Innovation Meets Identity, designing Africa's next living experience, is slated to hold for the 18th to the 19th of April 2026. Supposed to bring together developers, policymakers, anyways, but it's going to be happening in Ghana. I think that's a very good one. I believe it's a Ghanaian that's putting it together. One of the realtors, real estate, I think it might also be a FIAPSI member, putting it together in Ghana. So it's something that any real estate
any opportunity for experts and professionals to come together
is always something to be
discuss
to be
way forward. Is something very good.
Yes. So that's some of the news headlines. I mean, we still have the taxes, but we've already covered that. Yeah. And then the introduction of rent relief that a lot of us should get.
I'm always calling, but our time is fast spent. I don't think we can
our time is fast spent. Yeah. Okay, so today has been a very exciting edition. For those who called in, I believe you already have the number to call or to send a message to. Do you have the number?
08027351727. That's the number to call for.
Okay. So let's just go over the number again.
08027351727.
Okay.
That's the number to call.
So it has been an amazing session. I have been your host, King Ray Realtor. And of course with me is Real Estate Doctor.
Also, I mean, again, yes, I agree with you, Ray. It's been a very fantastic time in the studio today. For those who want to be part of our sponsorship program, the number to call is also 08027351727.
Or you can send an email to info@realestateMatters.today. That is info at realestateMatters.today. Okay, so if you send an email to that email address, or you send a message to the number that has been provided, you can get to advertise on the show or be a part of the show of the program, or join us in the studio one of these days. Okay. I think that was to
all our listeners, thank you so much for joining on the show today. To all our callers, thank you so much for calling. It's been a very wonderful time. Until we see you same time next week. I'm still your real estate doctor. Stay blessed.
And I am King Ray.